Have we always been warlike? Did we inherit our violent natures from our primate ancestors? Or is it something that we've developed later in our history? Well, in findings published in the journal Nature, archaeologists report the discovery of the oldest evidence of mass violence to date, the skeletal remains of a massacre that occurred 10,000 years ago on the shores of Lake Turkana in present-day Kenya. Ronica Power is a research fellow at the McDonald Institute for Archaeological Research and Department of Archaeology and Anthropology at the University of Cambridge. She helped analyze the fossilized skeletons found at the site. Welcome to Science Friday, Dr. Power.
Thank you so much, Ira. It's a great pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell us about this site. What was found there?
So at this site, the site is called Naturuk, and it's in West Turkana in Kenya. And at the site, we found at least 28 individuals in total, and there's a demographic range, a range of people that were found there. And amongst them, there were 5 young children, 1 teenager, 21 adults, and 1 fetus. And of those 28 individuals, we found 12 skeletons that were found as they died, unburied and with their bodies articulated in anatomical position, but in very unusual positions. And of these 12 articulated skeletons, 10 of these show skeletal evidence of the most violent trauma.
So they show signs of being killed. Some clubbed. What kind of ways did they die?
So the skeletal evidence, the kinds of lesions, the kinds of wounds and injuries that we're seeing on the skeletons suggests that there were at least 3 different types of weapons that may have been used in this attack, Ira. And the different kinds of weapons include things that may have been stone-tipped and sharpened, like arrows, and we call them projectiles. Mm-hmm. And we also think that there may have been clubs that were used in this attack, and also potentially another, what we're calling a close proximity weapon, so something else that would have been held in the hand. But to make it even more terrifying, more frightful, it's possible that this close proximity weapon had sharp stones and blades that were embedded in it, that to give it that extra force, that extra trauma when the victims were hit.
Does this have the earmark of a war or a raid on a tribe that caught them unaware?
Well, it does seem as though they were caught unaware. I mean, very interestingly, what we extrapolate from the different kinds of skeletal trauma is that it appears that they were at first taken unawares by things such as arrows. It appears that the perforation lesions and some of the sharp force trauma lesions were caused by arrows, which, as you know, are more of a medium range kind of weapon. And so it seems as though they may have been ambushed as they were there on the shores of ancient Lake Turkana, and then once they were stopped and were obviously stopped in their tracks by this arrows attack, as the attacking other group came closer to them, that is when they would have used these more close proximity weapons. So it appears that there were different ranges and different kinds of attack that were happening at within this whole kind of war or raiding incident, as you say.